Is the universe whispering to you about someone special? Right now, it could be sending signs you're meant to be with them. Carl Jung's philosophy reveals how to spot these cosmic clues. In this video, we'll dive into Jung's wisdom on synchronicity and the Anima to uncover 5 undeniable signs. The universe is guiding you to a soul-level connection. Through Lin's inspiring story and practical steps, you'll learn to trust these signs and embrace the relationship meant for you. Ever felt an unexplainable spark with someone? Like time, just stopped. Stay with us. This could be the moment you discover your destined path. Let's unlock the universe's messages together. Have you ever thought of someone, and seconds later, your phone buzzes with their message? Or walked into a random place, like a coffee shop or bookstore, and locked eyes with someone who felt oddly familiar, as if you were meant to meet? These aren't just coincidences, they're the universe whispering, guiding you toward a connection that matters. Carl Jung called this phenomenon synchronicity, a powerful concept that explains how meaningful coincidences signal a deeper alignment between your inner world and the universe's plan. In this chapter, we'll explore Carl Jung's idea of synchronicity, why it's the language of the universe, and how Lin's story reveals its role in destined relationships. Let's dive into the first sign that someone special is meant for you. Carl Jung defined synchronicity as a meaningful coincidence of 2 or more events where something other than the probability of chance is involved. Imagine you're thinking of a person, and their name pops up on a billboard or in a song lyric. Or you dream about someone you've never met, only to cross paths with them days later. These moments feel like the universe is tapping you on the shoulder, saying, "Pay attention, this is no accident." For Carl Jung, synchronicity happens when your psyche is aligned with your true self, creating a bridge between your inner desires and the outer world. It's the universe's way of speaking, not in words, but in patterns, symbols, and perfectly timed events. Let's meet Linh, a 29-year-old teacher with a quiet life in a bustling city. Linh had always been skeptical of signs or fate, believing relationships were about effort, not destiny. But one spring, something shifted. She kept seeing the name Alex everywhere on a co-worker's coffee cup, in a book title at the library, even in a random Instagram post. At first, she brushed it off as coincidence. But then, she had a vivid dream about a man with warm eyes, standing under a tree, smiling at her. Days later, at a teaching conference, she almost skipped. She met Alex, a fellow teacher with the same warm eyes from her dream. Their conversation flowed effortlessly, as if they'd known each other for years. Linh felt a spark she couldn't explain, a pull that went beyond attraction. Carl Jung would say, Lin's experience wasn't random. It was synchronicity at work. In his book, Synchronicity and a Causal Connecting Principle, Carl Jung argued that these events are meaningful because they reflect a deeper connection between your psyche and the universe. When you're aligned with yourself, the core of who you are, free from ego-driven fears or desires, the universe responds with signs that guide you. For Linh, seeing Alex's name repeatedly and dreaming of him were signals that her soul was ready for a connection that would awaken her. Carl Jung believed synchronicity is most vivid when you're on the path of individuation, the journey to integrate your shadow and live authentically. But why do these signs appear? Carl Jung taught that synchronicity isn't just about chance, it's about readiness. When your inner world is in harmony, the outer world mirrors it. Linh had spent months reflecting on her life, journaling about her fears of being alone, and letting go of a past relationship that drained her. She wasn't desperately seeking love. She was becoming whole on her own. Carl Jung would say this inner alignment opened the door for synchronicity, allowing the universe to send signs like Alex's name and the dream. These weren't random. They were the universe's way of saying, "You're ready for someone who reflects your truth. Let's make this real for you." Have you ever noticed a pattern that felt too precise to ignore? Maybe you kept seeing a name, hearing a song, or running into the same person in unexpected places. These are synchronicity's whispers, urging you to notice someone significant. Carl Jung believed these moments happen when your psyche is attuned to your deeper desires, often ones you haven't fully acknowledged. For Linh, the signs weren't just about Alex. They were about her readiness to connect with someone who mirrored her growth, not her wounds. Synchronicity isn't magic or superstition. It's a psychological phenomenon rooted in your unconscious. Carl Jung explained that the unconscious mind communicates through symbols and patterns, like dreams or repeated names, to guide you toward what matters. When Linh saw Alex's name everywhere, it wasn't her imagination. It was her unconscious picking up on a pattern that her conscious mind hadn't yet processed. Carl Jung called this the collective unconscious, a shared reservoir of archetypes and symbols that connects all humans. The name Alex became a symbol for Linh, pointing her toward a person who would play a role in her individuation. But here's what most people miss. Synchronicity doesn't happen when you're chasing or desperate. Carl Jung taught that desperation clouds your inner vision, blocking the universe's signals. If Linh had been obsessively seeking a partner, she might have dismissed the signs as wishful thinking. Instead, her inner work, journaling, reflecting, and embracing her solitude created space for synchronicity to emerge. Carl Jung wrote, "Your vision will become clear only when you look into your heart. When you align with your true self, the universe doesn't need to shout it, whispers through perfectly timed moments." Linh's story shows how synchronicity can feel both subtle and profound. After meeting Alex at the conference, she noticed more signs. A song they both loved played on the radio as she drove home, and a book he mentioned appeared on her co-worker's desk the next day. These weren't loud or dramatic. They were quiet alignments that felt deeply meaningful. Carl Jung would say these moments were the universe confirming Linh's path, guiding her toward a connection that wasn't just romantic, but transformative. Alex didn't just spark attraction, he sparked questions about who Linh was becoming. This is the power of synchronicity. It's not just about meeting someone, it's about meeting yourself. Carl Jung believed that the people we encounter through synchronicity are mirrors, reflecting parts of our psyche we need to see. For Linh, Alex mirrored her newfound confidence and her desire for a connection rooted in authenticity, not need. But synchronicity is just the beginning. In the next chapter, we'll explore why some people feel like home through Carl Jung's concept of the Anima and how it shapes the spark of destined love. Stay with us to uncover the next layer of the universe's signs. Have you ever met someone and felt an instant connection, like you've known them forever, even though you just locked eyes? It's not just chemistry or coincidence. It's a pull from deep within your soul, a spark that feels like destiny. Carl Jung called this the Anima or Animus, the hidden feminine or masculine energy in your psyche that draws you to people who mirror your true self or unhealed wounds. In this chapter, we'll explore Carl Jung's concept of the Anima and Animus, why some connections feel like home, and how Linh's story reveals the universe's role in guiding you to these destined encounters. Let's uncover why certain people ignite a spark that changes everything. Carl Jung believed that every person carries an inner counterpart to their gender, the Anima feminine energy in men, or Animus masculine energy in women. These archetypes, rooted in the collective unconscious, shape how we connect with others. In the archetypes and the collective unconscious, Carl Jung wrote, "The Anima is the archetype of life itself. It's the part of you that seeks connection, creativity, and emotional depth, often projected onto someone who embodies qualities you've suppressed or long to embrace. When you meet someone who feels destined, it's often your anima or animus, recognizing a mirror, a person who reflects your potential, your pain, or the parts of you waiting to be seen. Let's return to Linh, the 29-year-old teacher from Chapter 1, who met Alex through a string of synchronicities. When Linh locked eyes with Alex at the teaching conference, she felt more than attraction. She felt a sense of familiarity, as if her soul whispered, "I know you." Their conversation flowed like a river, touching on shared dreams, fears, and even a love for the same obscure poet. Linh felt alive in a way she hadn't in years. Not because Alex was perfect, but because he seemed to reflect something deep within her. Carl Jung would say this was Linh's anima at work, drawing her to someone who mirrored her inner world. Growing up, Linh had always been the good girl, focused on pleasing others, her parents, teachers, and later, her ex-partners. She buried her creative side, her desire to write poetry, and her need for emotional depth to fit into a practical, predictable life. But meeting Alex changed that. His quiet confidence and passion for literature stirred something in Linh, a longing to reconnect with her suppressed creativity and vulnerability. Carl Jung taught that the anima often appears in relationships as a call to integrate these hidden parts of yourself. For Linh, Alex wasn't just a potential partner, he was a mirror showing her the poet, dreamer, and authentic self she'd pushed aside. This is where the anima or animus becomes a bridge to destiny. Carl Jung believed that these archetypes guide you to people who help you grow toward individuation, the process of becoming your whole self. When you meet someone who feels destined, it's not just about romance, it's about transformation. Linh's connection with Alex wasn't just about love, it was about rediscovering her own voice. Their conversations about poetry and life sparked her to start writing again, something she'd abandoned since her teens. Carl Jung would say this is the Animus call, a relationship that doesn't just make you feel good, but pushes you to become more you. Let's bring this to your life. Have you ever felt an instant bond with someone? Like they see parts of you others miss. Maybe their strength reminds you of a courage you've buried, or their warmth touches a vulnerability you've hidden. These connections feel destined because they awaken your anima or animus, showing you aspects of yourself you've ignored. Carl Jung taught that these encounters are the universe's way of saying, look at who you could be. The person isn't here to complete you, but to reflect you your strengths, your wounds, and your potential. But here's what most people miss. The anima or animus doesn't just show you beauty, it shows you pain. Carl Jung warned that these connections can stir your shadow, the hidden fears or insecurities you've buried. For Linh, Alex's confidence initially made her feel inadequate. She caught herself wondering, why would someone like him choose me? These doubts weren't about Alex, they were her shadow speaking, echoing childhood, fears of not being enough. Carl Jung called this projection, when you see your unhealed wounds or unclaimed potential in someone else. Linh's attraction to Alex was intense because he reflected both her longing for creativity and her fear of unworthiness. This duality is why destined connections feel so powerful. Carl Jung explained that the anima or animus draws you to people who challenge you to grow. Linh's moments of insecurity with Alex weren't a sign he was wrong for her. They were a call to face her shadow and embrace her worth. She started journaling about her doubts, asking, why do I feel I need to prove myself? This led her to memories of her parents praising only her achievements, not her essence. By confronting these wounds, Linh began to see Alex not as a savior, but as a mirror, helping her reclaim her authentic self. Carl Jung's insight is that these connections are part of individuation. The universe sends people who reflect your inner world, to guide you toward wholeness. For Linh, Alex's presence encouraged her to write poetry again, to speak her truth, and to let go of the good girl persona she'd worn for years. Their connection wasn't just about falling in love. It was about Linh falling in love with herself. Carl Jung wrote, "The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances if there is any reaction. Both are transformed." Linh and Alex were transforming each other, not through perfection, but through authenticity. This transformation is what makes these encounters feel destined. When Linh stopped hiding her creative side and shared her poetry with Alex, he responded with admiration, not judgment. Their bond deepened, not because they were flawless, but because they were real. Carl Jung would say, "This is the Anima's gift. It leads you to people who help you integrate your hidden parts, making you more whole." In the next chapter, we'll uncover the 5 specific signs the universe sends to confirm someone is meant for you, and how Linh recognized them in her journey. Stay with us to discover how these signs can guide you to your own destined connection. What if the universe is leaving clues all around you, pointing to someone you're meant to be with? Carl Jung's philosophy teaches that when you're aligned with your true self, the universe speaks through unmistakable signs, moments that feel too perfect to be random. In this chapter, we'll uncover 5 specific signs, inspired by Jung's ideas of synchronicity and anima, that reveal when the universe is guiding you toward a destined connection. Through Linh's story, we'll see how these signs showed up in her life, helping her recognize a relationship that was more than just chance. Let's explore these cosmic signals and how you can spot them in your own journey. Carl Jung believed that the universe communicates through patterns and feelings that resonate with your soul, especially when you're on the path of individuation, becoming your whole, authentic self. These signs aren't loud or obvious. They're subtle, like whispers from the universe, urging you to pay attention. When you meet someone who feels destined, these signs confirm that they're part of your journey, whether for a season or a lifetime. Let's break down the 5 signs, rooted in Carl Jung's wisdom, and see how Linh experienced them in her connection with Alex. Sign 1: meaningful coincidences. The first sign is synchronicity, those uncanny coincidences that feel too precise to ignore. Maybe you keep seeing their name on a billboard, in a book, or in a random conversation, or you think of them, and they call you right at that moment. These aren't accidents. They're the universe aligning events to get your attention. For Linh, this sign appeared when she kept spotting Alex's name on a coffee cup, in a library book, even in a social media post before they met. Carl Jung would say, "These synchronicities are the universe's way of saying, this person matters." Notice if you're seeing repeated symbols, names, or moments tied to someone. They're cosmic breadcrumbs leading you forward. Sign 2: intuitive knowing. The second sign is a gut feeling that this person is significant, even if you can't explain why. It's not just attraction, it's a quiet, unshakable sense that they're meant to be in your life. Carl Jung taught that the unconscious mind speaks through intuition, guiding you when logic alone isn't enough. Linh felt this when she met Alex at the conference. Beyond their easy conversation, she had a deep sense of knowing, like her soul recognized him. She couldn't pinpoint why, but something inside whispered, "This is important." If you feel a pull towards someone that defies reason, trust it. It's your psyche, aligning with the universe's plan. Sign 3: recurring dreams. The third sign is dreams that feature this person or symbols connected to them. Carl Jung believed dreams are the language of the unconscious, revealing truths your waking mind might miss. Before meeting Alex, Linh had a vivid dream of a man with warm eyes standing under a tree, smiling at her. When she met Alex, his eyes matched the dream exactly. sending chills down her spine. Carl Jung would say this dream was her unconscious, signaling a destined connection, preparing her for their meeting. Pay attention to your dreams' recurring images. People or feelings could be the universe nudging you towards someone special. Sign 4. Effortless flow. The fourth sign is a sense of ease and flow in your interactions. Conversations feel natural. Silences aren't awkward. And being with them feels like slipping into your favorite song. Carl Jung taught that true connections reflect yourself, not your persona, the mask you wear to please others. With Alex, Lynn noticed their talks were effortless. Unlike her past relationships where she felt she had to perform, they laughed about shared interests. Like poetry, without forcing the moment. If being with someone feels like coming home to yourself, it's a sign the universe is aligning you with a connection that fits your soul. Sign 5. Self-reflection. The fifth sign is the most profound. This person mirrors your strengths, wounds, or potential, pushing you to grow. Carl Jung believed destined connections act as mirrors, reflecting parts of your psyche, both light and shadow, that need attention. For Lynn, Alex didn't just spark joy, he sparked growth. His confidence made her question her insecurities, while his passion for creativity inspired her to write poetry again. Carl Jung would say Alex was reflecting Lynn's anima, showing her the creative floater, vulnerable self she'd buried. If someone makes you see yourself more clearly, your strengths, fears, or dreams, it's a sign they're part of your journey toward individuation. Let's make this practical for you. Have you ever noticed one of these signs in your life? Maybe you keep stumbling across someone's name, or feel a gut instinct that they're important. Perhaps you've dreamed of them, or conversations with them feel effortless, like you're truly yourself. These are the universe's signals, confirming a connection that's meant to matter. Carl Jung taught that these signs appear when you're aligned with yourself, not chasing from a place of lack. For Lynn, these signs weren't just about Alex, they were about her own growth, her readiness to embrace her authentic self. Lynn's story shows how these signs work together. The synchronicities, like seeing Alex's name everywhere, caught her attention. Her intuitive knowing told her he was significant. Even before they spoke, the dream of his warm eyes prepared her for their meeting. Their effortless conversations felt like a dance, not a performance. And most importantly, Alex mirrored her potential, inspiring her to reconnect with her creative side while confronting her fears of unworthiness. Carl Jung would say these signs were the universe guiding Lynn toward a relationship that wasn't just romantic but transformative, helping her become more whole. These signs aren't about forcing a relationship or chasing a fairy tale. Carl Jung warned that true connections come when you're ready, not desperate. If Lynn had been clinging to validation, she might have missed these signs or misinterpreted them as infatuation. Instead, her inner work, journaling, reflecting, and embracing her solitude opened her to the universe's whispers. Carl Jung wrote, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." By aligning with herself, Lynn saw the signs clearly, trusting that Alex's presence was part of her path. You can spot these signs. 2. Start by noticing patterns in your life: names, songs, or unexpected meetings. Listen to your intuition when it feels stronger than logic. Pay attention to your dreams and journal about them to uncover their meaning. Reflect on whether your interactions with someone feel natural and authentic. And ask yourself, what does this person show me about myself? These questions, rooted in Carl Jung's wisdom, help you recognize the universe's guidance. In the next chapter, we'll explore how to trust these signs by living from your true self. Just as Lynn did, Stay with us to learn how to embrace your destined connection. What if the universe is sending you signs about someone special, but your doubts are drowning them out? Carl Jung taught that to hear the universe's whispers, those synchronicities and intuitive nudges, you must align with your true self. Free from the fears and masks that cloud your vision, in this chapter, we'll explore how to trust the signs we uncovered in Chapter 3 by living from yourself. Using Carl Jung's concept of individuation, through Lin's journey, we'll see how she learned to trust the universe's guidance and embrace her destined connection with Alex. Let's dive into practical steps to quiet your doubts. Tune into your intuition and let the universe lead you to love. Carl Jung believed that the universe speaks most clearly when you're aligned with yourself, the core of who you are. Beyond the ego's need for control or validation, in the undiscovered self, he wrote, "Your vision will become clear only when you look into your heart. When you're caught in fear, desperation, or the need to please, your inner noise blocks the universe's signals. Trusting the signs, whether it's a synchronicity like seeing a name everywhere, or a gut feeling about someone, requires you to integrate your shadow, your hidden fears and wounds, and live authentically. This is the heart of individuation, becoming whole by embracing all parts of yourself." Let's return to Lin, the 29-year-old teacher from our previous chapters, whose connection with Alex was marked by synchronicities, dreams, and an effortless flow. At first, Lin struggled to trust these signs. When she saw Alex's name repeatedly or felt that unshakable pull toward him, her mind raced with doubts. Is this real? Am I imagining things? What if I'm wrong? These questions stemmed from her shadow, a fear of being unworthy. Rooted in a childhood where love felt conditional, Carl Jung would say Lin's doubts were her ego trying to control the outcome, blocking her from trusting the universe's guidance. Lin's turning point came during a quiet evening alone. After another effortless conversation with Alex, she felt that familiar spark, but also a wave of insecurity. Instead of texting him for reassurance, she grabbed her journal and asked, "Why am I afraid to trust this connection?" The answer poured out. She feared rejection, just as she had when her parents overlooked her, unless she was perfect. Carl Jung taught that facing the shadow, your unhealed wounds, is the first step to clarity. By naming her fear, Lin began to see that her doubts weren't about Alex, they were about her own self-worth. This awareness was the key to trusting the signs, to trust the universe's signals. Carl Jung's wisdom suggests 3 practical steps, which Lin embraced to align with her true self. Step 1. Practice mindfulness to quiet the ego. The ego loves to overthink, filling your mind with doubts that drown out intuition. To hear the universe, practice mindfulness moments of stillness, where you focus on the present. Lin started with 5 minutes each morning, sitting quietly, breathing deeply, and repeating, "I trust my inner knowing." This helped her notice synchronicities like Alex's name, appearing without dismissing them as coincidence. Carl Jung believed mindfulness connects you to yourself, making the universe's whispers clearer. Try it. Set aside a few minutes daily to breathe and listen to your intuition. It's like tuning a radio to catch the universe's signal. Step 2. Journal your signs and feelings. Writing down synchronicities, dreams, or intuitive nudges helps you see patterns and trust their meaning. Lin kept a journal, noting every sign: the dream of Alex's warm eyes, the song they both loved, the ease of their talks. She also wrote about her doubts, asking, "What's stopping me from trusting this process?" Rooted in Carl Jung's idea of making the unconscious conscious, helped Lin connect her fears to past wounds. Carl Jung wrote, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate Journaling helped Linh trust that the signs were real, not wishful thinking. Start your own journal. Write down any coincidences or feelings about someone special and reflect on what they reveal. Step 3. Release the need to control. The ego craves certainty, but destined connections thrive on surrender. Carl Jung taught that letting go of control allows the universe to work its magic. Linh practiced this by resisting the urge to text Alex constantly for validation. Instead, she focused on her own growth, writing poetry, exploring her creativity, and embracing her worth. To her surprise, Alex reached out more, drawn to her newfound confidence. Carl Jung would say this shift aligned Linh with herself, making her energy magnetic. Try this when you feel the urge to force a connection. Pause and say, "I release control and trust the universe." This opens space for signs to guide you. Let's make this real for you. Have you ever doubted a gut feeling about someone because fear took over? Maybe you dismissed a synchronicity as just a coincidence or pushed for a relationship to prove your worth. These are signs your ego is blocking the universe's signals. Carl Jung's wisdom invites you to pause and ask, what fears are holding me back? By practicing mindfulness, journaling, and letting go, you can quiet those doubts and hear the universe clearly. Linh's journey shows that trusting the signs isn't about blind faith. It's about aligning with your authentic self. For Linh, these steps transformed her connection with Alex. By journaling, she saw the pattern of synchronicities, his name, the dream. Their effortless talks as a clear message from the universe. Mindfulness helped her stay present, noticing how being with Alex felt like being herself, not a performance. And by releasing control, she stopped seeking validation, letting their bond deepen naturally. Carl Jung would say Linh was moving toward individuation, integrating her shadow, fear of unworthiness, and living from herself. This alignment made the signs undeniable, confirming Alex was part of her path, not to complete her, but to reflect her growth. The beauty of trusting the signs is that it shifts your energy from chasing to receiving. When Linh stopped doubting and started trusting, she noticed more synchronicities. A book Alex loved appeared in her mailbox, and a stranger mentioned his favorite poet in passing. These weren't random. They were the universe affirming her path. Carl Jung taught that when you live from yourself, your energy resonates with the universe, attracting connections that feel destined. Linh's relationship with Alex grew deeper, not because she forced it, but because she trusted the signs and herself. This process isn't about perfection, it's about progress. You don't need to trust every sign instantly. Start small, like Linh did, with a moment of mindfulness or a journal entry. Carl Jung believed these small acts of alignment ripple outward, making the universe's guidance clearer. In our final chapter, we'll explore how these signs lead to soul-level connections that transform your life, just as they did for Linh. Stay with us to discover how trusting the universe can open the door to the love you're meant for. The universe isn't shouting, it's whispering, guiding you to someone who's meant to change your life. Carl Jung's wisdom shows that when you align with your true self, the signs, synchronicities, intuitive nudges, dreams, and effortless connections light the way to soul-level love. Through Linh's story, we've seen how trusting these signs, from seeing a name everywhere to feeling an unexplainable spark, can lead you to a connection that transforms you, not just romantically, but deeply, authentically. Carl Jung said, "Your vision will become clear only when you look into your heart." Today, you're one step closer to hearing those whispers and embracing the love you're destined for. So, what's one sign you've noticed? A coincidence, a dream, or a gut feeling that the universe might be sending about someone special? Share it in the comments below. Your story could spark hope in someone else. Don't let this moment fade. Hit that like button. Share this video with a friend searching for their destined path. And subscribe to Jung Psyche Hub. Tap the bell for more insights to unlock your soul's journey. Stop doubting, start listening, and let the universe lead you to the connection that's waiting. Your true self is ready. Answer the call today.